lovely book dragons, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Joana and I love to talk about books on this channel, specifically fantasy and a little bit of romance. Today I decided that I was going to share with you my reading and channel goals for 2022 because I feel like it's a good way of seeing where this channel is going, where my reading is going, what you can expect in the future here on the channel. So this is kind of what I wanted to do today. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because we don't need to go on and on about my goals. I have reading goals, like I said, and then I have channel goals. So I'm going to start with the reading goals. And I was debating doing a number or not. I had debated about doing a one book challenge, but I think I want to try 75 books. What I end up doing is putting every single year my reading goal on Goodreads is 50 books. And I know that's very attainable. In a normal year, if nothing major happens, that's very doable for me. I think it's less than a book per week. It gives me room to read big books that take a bit of time, and then a few shorter ones, which I end up reading anyway, or novellas, because of fantasy series that have novellas, it works. The past 2 years, I was able to read over 100 books. I think it was 106 in 2020 and 104 in 2021 or something like that. And I was debating, like, should I do 100? And I was like, no. This year is the year of no pressure. That's kind of the mood I'm in, and I feel like a lot of us are in that mood. I will leave Abby over at Abby Salter's goals video linked up here because the way she talked about her goals is exactly what I want to embrace this year. And so I did decide with 75 books just because I have that little challenge of reading something and like accomplishing a numbers goal. But all in all, I don't really care that much. The other goals are what's more important, but I did want to do it like a 75 goal book just to kind of have this little thing off in the distance and to not pressure myself too much. Actually, my next 3 goals are relating to series, and that is basically to finish off series. I am planning on doing a series update here on the channel very soon. I will leave my last series check-in here. I think it was like something ridiculous, like 43 series ongoing or something like that, and I really want to change that. I have series that I've started years ago. I started the Throne of Glass series. I started the Daughter Smoke and Bone series. I started like 10 years ago or something like that, or like 9 years ago. Then there's other series that I've started years and years and years ago, and I just want to catch up on series and reduce that number. And I know, like, for a goal to be smart, you need to say, I want to finish 10 series this year, or I want to get my ongoing series number under 20. I won't do that because I don't want to pressure myself, but I do want to finish off as many series as I can. And finishing off means also catching up. Like, I have series where, for example, if I read the next book, I'm caught up with the author. For example, The Burning by Evan Winter or The Band by Nicholas Eames. I only have 1 book left in each of those series, and then I'm caught up, and then I'm going to be waiting for the next release. And that counts, for me, that counts as taking books off of my ongoing series list, because literally I cannot continue even if I wanted to. So that is one of my main goals, is to catch up on series, finish off series, and get that ongoing series list down and down and down. In the same vein, I want to, if I pick up a new series in the year of 2022, which I inevitably will start new series, I want to, 1, avoid starting series that are incompleted or that are not going to be completed in a long time. So, for example, if I pick up a series that I want to pick up this year is the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio, but I know he's going to publish 2 books this year, and I think that's then the end of it. He's done. So that is not a problem because the books are going to come out, but I want to avoid picking up series where we're at the first book and then it's going to be like, I said that, but I have one or 2 series I'm going to do that with. But in general, I want to avoid doing this as much as I can, to start out new series and start new beginners of series that come out this year. As much as I love new releases and keeping up with the discussion that everyone is having, I kind of just want to limit that. Avoid starting series that are incomplete or that will be completed in 2 or 3 or 4 years time, or no, we don't know when, because I just want to get that number of ongoing series down. Now, the correlation of like getting series down and avoiding starting a new series is that when I do start a new series and I pick up something that's complete or as close to complete as possible, I want to marathon those series. Last year I had so much fun reading, for example, Senlin Ascents and Armor of the Sphinx back to back. I also read The Bitter Twins and Poison Song back to back. I read the whole David trilogy back to back, and that was like 1 a month. The David ones, the other ones were a bit more close to each other, I think, but I had so much fun doing that. I actually really like marathoning series back to back, staying in a world, staying with those characters. And I was watching Mike at Mike's Book Reviews. I really like his channel, and he was saying that he is also kind of done this year, always putting one book in a series per month. So you know how sometimes when you pick up a series, you're like, okay, I'm gonna read book 1 in January, then February, then March. He's like, why? Why don't I just like read as much as I can in 1 month, and then like just that my next 3 books are that series and that's it? Why do I have to then jump around in series or do stuff like that? And that is kind of what I want to do as well. I want to marathon series as much as possible. I want to read things back to back to stay in that world, to feel the emotional impact of certain things because I'm with those characters all the time. And that is of course for series that are a little bit shorter. I don't want my next 15 books to be Wheel of Time books, if that makes sense. But for series where it's like duologies or trilogies or anything like that, I do want to try and marathon them as much as possible. Another goal that I have, which is a little bit of a sad one, because I do love doing this. Like, I want to avoid reread. And yes, I am the creator and co-host of Cosmo Unbounded, where we read all of Sanderson's books. And this year we're reading Warbreaker, which I've read, so it's going to be a reread. And we're going to start on the Stormlight Archive, which I've already read. But those I want to reread anyway to prepare for Stormlight 5, so that's fine. But still, except for those, I want to avoid rereads as much as possible, because I do want to get my TBR down, which is my next goal. I want to get my TBR down, and to make that happen, I want to avoid rereads as much as possible, because I have a lot of books that I want to get to, and therefore rereads are gonna have to fall on the wayside for a little bit. And with that, bringing my TBR down and avoiding rereads and finishing off series and marathoning series, I want to do all of that for books that I already own. And of course, I'm going to be buying new books. I'm going to be borrowing books from the library. I'm going to be joining in maybe a buddy read or read along for a series that I don't own and that I'm though very excited for, and therefore I'm going to buy that book or borrow it out from the library, listen to it on script, whatever it is. But I do want to try and read from my physical TBR as much as possible. From my Kindle TBR when it comes to romance, because I don't own any romance, I read them from my Kindle. So I often go when the books are really cheap, I buy them on Kindle or something like that. So I do have my Kindle TBR, which is not as daunting to me because it's my digital TBR. I mean, I would like to get that down, but I'm not super fussed. But basically, I want to read as much as I can from the shelves. I have over 200 unread books now. I think I'm at 211 at this point, or 212, something like that. And I do want to get that down. I think I wrote a goal down to get it to 100 or something like that, by unhauling, by getting through books where I'm like, okay, am I gonna read this? Try the first chapter. If I see that I'm not into it, unhaul, and doing things like that. And also DNFing more. I was watching Jessi at the Bookish Moms video where she talked about all her DNFs of last year, which I will leave linked down below, and her channel, because I just really love Jessi a lot. And she was talking about all the DNFs she had, and then Sophia and I were talking, also channel linked down below, about our DNFs. And I realized I DNF'd very few books last year. And when I was going through all the books, my eyes kept on snagging on books that I thought I DNF'd, aka that I should have DNF'd. So if I'm not having a good time with a book, I'm just gonna DNF it. I'm gonna unhaul it if it's from the shelves, and then buy. Time is limited, time is precious. I want to read books that I'm loving, I want to read books that I'm enjoying. And there's times, okay, for example, I have put down Mask of Mirrors, I have put down Jade War. Those are not DNFs, those are just books that right now I cannot read this mentally. I'm like, it's too much for what I'm able to read right now. I'm in the mood for stuff that's fast paced, that goes fast, or whatever. Those are not DNFs, those are just like not right now books. But there are books where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm never gonna read this, I'm not ever gonna finish this, and those are the books that I want to then DNF, unhaul, and be done with it. And my last reading goal for the year is to allow myself to mood read a lot more and to not overcommit. I have a really big problem with committing to buddy reads, with committing to read-alongs and all that stuff. I've always done things, it's like if I see someone and they're like, this month I'm gonna be reading blah blah blah, and I'm like, well, I have blah 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 on my shelves and I want to get to it at some point, so why not now? Why should I read it later? This person's reading it now, maybe I should just read it now. But then I'm not in the mood for it, and then I will drag my feet through it, and even if it's a good book, I will read it slowly because it's not what I want to be reading and all of that stuff. So I want to mood read, I don't want to overcommit, and those are basically my goals for the year. To read the books that I know I'm gonna love. That's also another one. I didn't write it down, but when I made my books by my faves I haven't read, which I will link up here, I realized, why am I not reading these books? I know I'm gonna love these, just read them. So basically, to recap my goals, it's going to be to mood read and not overcommit, to read the books that I know I'm going to love and stop putting them off for a rainy day. It's literally raining outside. What am I waiting for? And to read stuff from my shelves, to marathon series, to avoid starting new series, to get my series number down, and to get the TBR down. Those are my basic reading goals for the year. Then I have a few channel goals. Number goals, I mean, I don't know. I would like to get to 1.5k, let's say. My ultimate goal would be reach 2k. Those are like my, you know, like if I had to say number goals, but I don't really, those are not the main goals that I work for. I'm working on things that I can decide. I can't decide if people subscribe. I can't decide if people, how long people stay and watch. I do the content that I want to do because I want to do it. And that's one of my goals, is to do content that I am excited about. There's content I like to watch, and so why not make it myself? And if I have an idea, just run with it, do it, post it. If I'm excited about a video idea, I'm gonna do it. If you guys love it, it's a success. I'm happy. I of course want to create content that you want to watch. That's the whole point. But I also want to create content that I'm excited for. So that's one of the things. Just like I'm allowing myself to mood read, I'm gonna allow myself to mood content create. And one of my goals is to post at least 2 videos per week regularly. In last year, I've really been struggling with, do I post 3 times per week? And then, yeah, but as soon as I go back to more days at the office, right now we're back to only 1 day at the office because of, you know, the virus. But as soon as I'm back in like 3 days per week, it's impossible to post 3 videos per week because it just takes so much time. So I'm gonna go with 2 videos, and in January I'm posting a bit more because I have all this end of the year, beginning of year content that I want to get out. But then we're gonna go back to 2 videos per week, and that is kind of my main goal. My other goal is to have more collaborative stuff going on, because the reason I started this was, one, to remember what I thought of the books when I was reading them, to kind of capture my feelings as I was reading books and my thoughts on them. But the other one is to make friends to talk about books with. And last year I was so lucky to participate in so many live shows, to be a part of so many book discussions, and those were always my favorite moments. Even when I didn't feel like sitting down, filming myself, editing videos, as soon as there was a live show where I was invited or that I was hosting, I was super excited. I got to talk to other book dragons about books, and that was just the best. So I want to do that more this year. And that's kind of like, I'm announcing here that I'm going to start a series on this channel, and I'm going to call it Book Dragons Babble. Thank you, Sophia, for the help with the alliteration. And so basically all this is that I'm gonna have episodes where I invite ideally 3 guests, if I can find 3 guests, and we can align the times and everything, and we're going to discuss bookish topics. They are not going to be book bound. It's not going to be like a review of this book. I mean, it can be if there's a big adaptation of something, maybe for House of the Dragon, maybe I'd want to do that or something like that. But right now I have, for example, episode 1 is going to be talking about recommending books. Is it easy? Is it hard? Whom do you find it hard to recommend books to? That's something that I'm going to be doing this year. Book Dragons Babble with guests, and just talk about books and bookish things, and like, you know, just that kind of stuff. So if you have ideas for topics that you would like to discuss, and or if you want to be a guest, just contact me. I mean, I'll probably reach out to a lot of you in the future, but yeah, that is something I want to do more of, more collaborative things on this channel, because that is what I'm here for. And then something that I want to change is like my wrap-ups. I hate filming wrap-ups, I realized, because sometimes I read little in a month and I'm like, I don't feel like doing a wrap-up for 3 books. But then sometimes I read 10 books in a month and I'm like overwhelmed. So something I've seen, people like, for example, Jashana does this. She does recent reads. There's other people who do this, but I just think of Jashana because I just watched one of her videos, and so I know she does it, so it connected into my brain. I want to be doing more vlogs, and therefore you are gonna get a lot of thoughts on those books that I'm reading in the vlogs that I'm reading. And they're gonna be vlogs that are like dedicated for those books. Not like random week, I'm in the middle of 5 books, I'm gonna talk about those and no, I'm gonna do like, for example, I'm gonna read these and these books in this vlog, and then you have the thoughts there. And then all the books that are not featured in vlogs will have a recent reads. I maybe at the beginning of a recent read say, hey, I read these and these books, but they're featured in that vlog. I can say like 3 things about it, how much I liked it, how much I didn't like it, and then moving on to the recent reads. The reason I want to do this is, one, because of what I said already, but also because I often put off reading vlogs or reading certain books at a certain time because of like, oh, but then I won't finish it by the end of the month, and then I cannot put it in my wrap up, or yeah, but okay, but it doesn't really fit with how I want to do my wrap up, or it doesn't really, if I read this now and then I can only film part 2 of this vlog later, or the second book in this vlog later, then it's going to be in the wrap up and it's going to be in the vlog, and then it's going to, I was hating doing that. And so the solution is to just do the vlog and then do a recent reads. And that's it. That's what I'm going to be doing. So those are kind of like my main content goals for the year, to just do more stuff with other booktubers and or bookworms that want to appear on the channel, to create 2 videos per week, and also mood create, and also to do the stuff with the wrap up, like I said. So yeah, those are kind of my goals for reading and for this channel for the year of 2020. 2. I'm very excited for it. I am allowing myself to go more with the flow and more with how I'm feeling, and to go more with what feels right at the moment. So yeah, it's been working so far, but it's only the 8th of January, so we'll see what the future holds. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below if you would want to participate in a Book Dragons Babble episode. I would love that, of course. And let me know what your reading goals, and if you have a channel, what your channel goals are for the year. If you just want to let me know that you were here, leave a book emoji and or a dragon emoji. And until next time, happy reading. Bye guys.